Our destination?
Savor Splurge, Wedding Edition.
Let's go for a ride.
Welcome to Girls Trip. This week, as you know, we've been talking all things wedding, one of our favorite topics, which you can see we can go on and on about. But today we're going to make it really simple. Which things are worth saving on and which things are worth splurging on, because we're so experienced. Actually, in the last 2 years, I feel like I have become a professional bridesmaid.
Been in so many weddings.
Professional bridesmaid.
If you want to hire me, just let me know.
Be a bridesmaid.
And I'll be there. Yeah.
And I feel like we've each also been like a maid of honor at one point or something. Yeah, right? Yeah.
So
We have experience.
we have some. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
let's just call ourselves experts at this point.
Why not?
We're
wedding
experts,
planners
guys.
right now.
So
Wedding experts. Marriage experts? Ooh, okay.
working on it.
Yes.
All right. Working on it. Okay, so we're just going to go through some categories. I feel like, I don't know, based on our discussion this week, I feel like we're going to be mostly similar in what we think, but we'll see if there are a few
Check it out.
outliers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's start with what I think will be an easy one for us to decide on, photography.
Yes.
Next.
Splurge on that.
Definitely splurge.
Just do it.
No regrets.
Just do it.
Just do it. That's what lasts you forever.
Okay, but what if someone asks, well, does that videography too? Like, do I do a video? I say if you are in a place right now where you are saying we can do both. We could do photography and good videography, but it's, okay, it's not great. Or you can just do fantastic photography. I would say just do fantastic photography.
Yeah.
And if you had to pick one or the other, I would say just do that versus the videography.
Yeah, that's what I ultimately went with. I went with fantastic photography.
Yeah.
And nowadays, just ask some of your guests to capture some things on
Take
their
some
iPhones.
video. Take some video.
And
Yep.
you'll still have those like fun little moments and memories.
Will you have a drone aerial shot? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But
We actually didn't do one, so we just had photography too.
Yeah.
And it was like very popular. They were like, "You don't want that?" We're like, "No."
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I will say, I've only been to one wedding where they mega splurged on their photographer, videographer. And at the reception, which seems like a bit of black magic, they like did a whole video presentation of photos and videos from that day, from like the ceremony and
They had
stuff
like people
that.
behind the scenes like, "Let's go,
Yeah.
people, get in all the photos."
What's your
Yeah.
turnaround time? 30 minutes.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Oh, okay.
Which was so impressive.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's like on the next level.
Yeah,
I feel
that's next
like.
level for sure.
And like we actually had just one photographer. I think depending on what your setup is, like we had a very simple setup. Like I've said, we had, my husband and I were both getting ready within like 5 minutes of each other distance. And then our reception was the same place as our ceremony. So I was able to afford like a really great one photographer. And we made that work. Whereas nowadays, I feel like they're always trying to sell you on. You need like 3 assistants.
Yeah.
And like, depending on what you want, maybe you do
might
to cover
need-
it.
yeah.
But
Also, it depends on the person,
Yeah.
how good they are, honestly. So if you know someone, they can handle it. Yeah.
then you're good to go. Okay, that was an easy one. Let's go with invitations, which we haven't really talked about.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that invitations or the way people feel about invitations have evolved so drastically in the last decade.
They used to be like an essential part.
Yeah.
Of
And like a piece of
everything.
art.
layers
A piece
to
of art.
this.
Yeah.
Mine you were
was-
on opening.
Mine was so practical. I loved it though.
Was
I
it
would
like
do
an
the same.
envelope and you like
It was.
No.
The full card itself was the envelope and also the return
Yes.
piece. So it
that's right. My brother and
it
sister-in-law did
unfolded
that too.
itself into all these pieces, and all you had to do was it was like perforated.
Perforated, yeah.
And all you had to do was undo that, and it was already stamped, already ready to go. Just write yes or no and throw it in. It was all included in that one little envelope
That's nice.
/ card. I loved it. I thought it was so practical. My mom was like, what is this trash? I was like, Mom, it's 2020. Come on. I loved it. I would do that again. Yeah.
I was happy that I designed my own and printed my own invitations. The things that I could do now with programs like Canva or whatever, like I had PowerPoint, like that's all that existed then.
Crazy.
But I think it was still worth it to save that money. But yeah, it used to be like many inserts going in with like tissue paper in between and like a ribbon wrapped, and you know,
it was more waste. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Can you think of a more waste of money though?
It's going in the garbage.
It's going in the trash.
Yeah.
Most people are going to lose it or throw it out even beforehand. They have to text somebody like, what time does this thing start?
Yeah.
You know, so
if you want to splurge on 5 really special invitations for your grandparents, maybe go for it. But like for every single guest,
and I had my RCP online.
Right.
I think there's like pros and cons to that, because I was like, great, they have one invitation. They can go to our website, check what they're going to eat. Like everything was there. However, I think that some people who are not as tech savvy, if one little thing is messed up, I think for the most part, everyone got it. But then tracking down people to RCP was the only annoying part.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone deals with that, I think, but it was just a little different. And then, Lord have mercy, the second time we had to do this again. And I'm like, can you please resubmit your RCP again?
Yeah.
Like that was a little bit of a hassle versus maybe just mailing a whole nother thing and just being like, new people check it off. So but I would 100% still be saving on that. I would never go crazy 100%. On it. Yeah.
At the time it was that I got married, it was even hard to have printed like envelopes. So
you had, write them?
I had, that's where I spent my money on the invitations. I had someone handwrite calligraphy, like to mail
that
them
looks
out,
beautiful.
which looked beautiful. But I saved so much money making the invitations myself that it like even out. But I don't think anyone needs to spend $500 on invitations anymore.
I have a tip.
Yes.
Maybe. Oh, are we going to talk about thank you cards at any point?
No.
Because so quick tip. My thank you cards were from a company called Postable. Ridiculously affordable, but you could apply your own like design. They have their own templates, but you could apply your own design if you want to. And then they have these fonts that are really cool for actually writing your thank you cards in, that you could do it all online. You know how like you can tell it's a font because all the letters, even though it's a beautiful handwriting, it looks like all the F's are the same, right?
Yeah.
This one generates like different like styles of letters as you're writing, so it really does look like it's handwritten.
That's
so
really cool.
not that we're trying to deceive anybody, but if you have 175 people coming to your wedding, that's a lot of thank you notes too.
Yeah, it took me a long time. It was like a full-time job writing my thank you notes.
Postable, loved Postable, super affordable.
Etsy. I was like, boom, picture, flipped it over, wrote on it, and then sent some out that way.
Yeah.
I will say, I mean, it's not a popular thing to do, but writing personal thank yous.
Yeah.
There's just something about it.
And not a generic,
not just a generic.
I think that's what I was. I had like 2 paragraphs for every person in my, and I was like, it will take me 3 years to get this all done. So being able to actually type it out was a lifesaver for me, because I wanted it to be like a sincere thank you to the people, especially the people who just brought so much to our marriage.
Yeah, I developed a callus with my pinky would go into my hand as I was writing. Yeah, so I hear that, but worth it. Worth splurging 100%. On the time in that case. Okay, venue.
I'm not looking.
I feel like this is the one thing. Okay, yep.
I am shocked. I thought I was going to be the only one who said splurge.
That's it though. I'm like, if you have, I feel like for me, that creates everything.
The ambiance.
The ambiance. So that was the hardest thing for me to commit to.
Also, we might be a little bit, like, it's hard to save around here in New Jersey on a venue. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just, I'm sure it exists, but it's not the norm. It's very difficult to go into Google, type in venue near me, and find anything that isn't
crazy
ridiculous.
Expensive. Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm assuming it's the coasts typically, right? I feel like probably California, and then East Coast spend a ridiculous amount of money on weddings in general. So even what I consider was like a really conservative DIY wedding is probably still double what someone, in middle America might be spending on a wedding.
But it's not just the space, it's the people who are there taking care of you. It's
Yes.
all of it.
Yeah.
So there's so much involved.
When
So-
I raise splurge, I'm still not like splurging probably in terms of like
just splurging for you,
for
what you
us,
consider.
Yeah.
Like we had a cap. It was like we can't go anymore, but I really wanted something like specific, and I did not want to settle for like. So it was like, let's just keep looking.
Yeah. I didn't have a building as my venue, but I did splurge on the tent.
Yeah.
They're
not
It was
cheap.
a company
No.
called Sperry Tents, and it was gorgeous, like really beautiful. They came with like 8 guys, like several days before to like
It's amazing.
construct this tent. And I remember our caterer was like really trying to sell me on like, well, just use our tent. And I was like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah. No.
Like your tent is what like, Uncle Bob rents for his like family picnic. I was like, this is my wedding.
Yeah.
And I know it's outside, but like I want it to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I will never regret
And that goes into photos and
Yeah,
all that.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
splurging on that.
Yep.
So I'm grateful for that. Okay. I feel like we're just going to get this one done quick because we've talked a lot about it, but food. Splurge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You eat good food.
We've said a lot about it.
Yeah.
That's what people remember.
Yep.
That's what you do for the
100%.
guests.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That if I could add one additional thing, I love the new trend of having like a parting snack. Wasn't a thing, but
I think we had like
would,
pretzels
yes.
at ours. It was like hot pretzels.
You did
So
your snacks,
cute.
your favorite
Yeah.
snacks, you and Artie's favorite
Oh,
snacks.
I had that as a favor
Yep.
too.
Favorite,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we had like, they had a parting. His favorite was pretzels, I think.
Which was so cute. Okay, dress, gown, whatever you want to call it.
I don't really know how to answer this. I'll say this.
Okay.
I don't know. What do I do?
Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
I didn't know. I'm like, I had a budget, like, and I had to stick to it. So I guess I couldn't like splurge.
My brain tells me that this is stupid, and I know it is, and I know it is, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like again, as a woman, I don't know. It's just like the most.
That's important, yeah.
It was like, it's like and I'm me, like I love clothes, but I don't love
Right.
clothes. That to me was just like, this is the thing that I've been looking forward to for so long. And I know you only wear it once, but I just feel like, again, there's so many cool things that you can do with your wedding dress.
Yeah.
These days, like a lot of, I know a couple of ladies who made their wedding dresses as part, like redid them as part of their like first daughter's like dedication dresses.
That was
or-
my mom did that
like
for mine.
such a great
dedication
idea. Like
dress is
there's
her
so
wedding dress.
much that you can do with it. Like maybe I won't wear it again unless you see me in it. Maybe one day right here.
Waltz on the show and just plop down and
But like, oh, it's just so special. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just so special.
No, I hear that. And I think again, it really depends on where your mind is
Yeah.
in that budget, right? Like if someone said to me they were going to spend $100 in their wedding dress, I'd be like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Splurge
Yeah.
for you. But
Yeah.
I don't think you need to go to like $5,000.
Yeah.
To me, that's like,
No,
that's
when
a
I
lot.
say when I say splurge, I'm
we're within
keeping
a
it
range. Yeah.
within but if, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Our splurge is not like crazy.
This is what I mean. If the dress of your dreams is like within $500,
go a little extra.
go a little extra. That's
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Don't
not
be
going-
don't be irresponsible. Don't put your down payment of your house on your dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hear me out. But just if it's a couple more dollars, just go
Yeah,
for
I think
it.
I'm thinking like, say yes for the dress, or people go
That's
in and
what I'm
they spend
thinking.
like double their budget and you're just like, what? Like that
There's
is-
limits, people.
That is
There's
splurging.
limits.
That is splurging. Okay, hair. Splurge.
Wow. Well, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
This
Well,
makes so much
because I
sense
know
to
my
me.
hair, I was
Yeah.
like, I know. I feel like, yes, you could have terrible people do your hair.
Yeah.
But I wasn't looking for extension. Like I was
Yeah.
just doing a simple boom. So I think I was like, we're gonna.
That makes so
Figure
much
this out.
sense to me.
Yeah, it could become so stressful Do we feel the same way about makeup? Would we vote the same way?
No, I do not.
Oh.
Save for makeup for me. Because I recently, like in my later 20s, really found out how to do my makeup well. So I guess the caveat to this is invest in yourself and do your makeup, learn how to do your makeup really, really well.
Yeah.
And that way save on your wedding day makeup and either do it yourself or get a friend who can do your makeup really well for you. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Unless you want to just go crazy, like unless you just want to really just have
I
a great
feel like when I got married,
experience.
it was hair and makeup was much more affordable, whereas now it's gotten a little crazy.
I think that's where I'm at because I know how much money it is. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I could literally do this myself.
So making the decision now versus then might be a little different.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking of when I got married, I would say like splurge, like
Yeah.
be pampered that day, get someone to do it for you so you're not stressed out. But if I was making that decision now and I'd be like, you know, I could save $1,000 by doing my own hair and makeup. Like, I think maybe I would lean more in that direction.
Yeah,
So.
I can't do my makeup at all. Like, I don't know how I got by with.
To be
honestly, dancing
fair,
downstairs.
most times you're trying to do your makeup, you're like in the car. you're like,
I don't know why I can't do it.
Yeah,
she's poloing, you know.
Yeah.
So
I definitely would not want to like go nuts, but I think I would want someone to take care of me in that situation because I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to splurge, but I think if I needed to, I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right, limo.
Oh, psh.
Don't do it, guys.
Yeah.
Don't
I didn't
fall
even have
into
one.
the trap.
Did not have one.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
My sister and brother-in-law had a Hummer for their transportation when Hummers were everywhere. They were all their age. No.
Actually, we didn't even need. Well, yeah, we didn't need a limo.
You were at the same place
because
too.
like both times it was all the same thing.
I would just say transportation itself you need. It's nice to not have to think about it from like where you're getting ready and then the church and then the reception. If you have like 3 different locations that you're going to,
100%
that can
easier.
be stressful. Don't try to figure that out yourself. Maybe get a car service, but a full blown like crazy car, I don't know.
Because really it's not convenient for anyone except for the bride and groom. It's
true.
Because then everyone has to leave their car somewhere or get someone, you know, to drive it for them. And there's like a lot
dropped off.
more coordination. I had a very short ride from my parents' house to the church and
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes. So I was not going to spend money on that. My dad did surprise me so that I didn't have to fit my dress in, you know, the back of a car.
So sweet.
Which was very, very sweet, but I never would have put out the money myself for that. So that was a no. Okay. Centerpieces.
Oh, ready? Bam.
Joy.
Okay.
Are you saving or splurging?
No, I'm saving. I'm saving. The creative arts and crafts person in me wants to like see something very elaborate, but then at the same time knows that I can make something myself probably. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'd say save. Do something fun and DIY that.
Yep.
Yeah, I went very DIY on my centerpieces because at the time, like I don't know what they are now, but they were crazy when I was getting married. They wanted to be like $200-300 per centerpiece, and I was like, I have like 15 tables.
Question about that. Because I made mine, like, where do you go for that? Like, who does that? The flower? Like,
the florist.
Okay.
Yeah. I love mine. I go to people's houses now and still see my centerpiece. I'm like, because we had these tall, your mom is the reason why. We got married in September, so we were looking for our lanterns July. Yeah, mid-July. And Michael's just had a sale. They had these red, white, and blue, big, tall lanterns they were supposed to put a candle in.
Yeah.
And we just got however many tables, 15, 16 lanterns, white ones for the centerpieces. They were gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, and people took them home and we still see them in people's houses and on their decks. It's
That's
amazing.
really
So my
really pretty.
dad used a chainsaw to make some of ours. I had him cut a piece. I think it was oak wood or something. I wanted the bark around it, so he cut it. He finished it so it wouldn't be prickly, and then I made this like little flower wreath. And then the venue had a lantern that they put in the middle of it.
So pretty.
So I still to this already kept like 5 of the pieces of wood, and I keep one now in my kitchen and put decorations on.
So cute.
So I'm like, yeah, it's very
cute.
practical.
Yeah, this is a good place to DIY.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Because it's not the norm now to have flowers maybe in the, like you can get very
You can
creative.
do different things. Yeah. I did do flowers as a part of my centerpiece, which I got the flowers themselves from my florist. But if you choose flowers that are in season and the same color, you are going to save so much money. So I chose white hydrangeas, which are big, so you don't need as many because they're going to take up a lot of space, and they were in season, and so that made it a lot cheaper. And then I went and got my own like planter boxes. There's cute little wooden boxes to put them in, but I wanted a little bit more height, but not so you couldn't see over it. And you probably know by now that I'm a big nerd and a book lover. So, and our like kind of accent color was green. And they have, I'm sure they probably still exists, but at the time it was like booksbythefoot.com. And so I just ordered like boxes of, you can pick any color you want. And you get all of these
really cool.
books in all different shades of whatever the color is.
Wait, I want to do this
this
for my like
is
library
amazing.
in my house. Oh my goodness.
And so I put like 3 books on, and then put the planter box on top. Some of them I kept, the cover, and then others I like did in like a pretty like green floral fabric that I covered in. But I still have a lot of those books that I've used for various things.
That's great. It's great.
Yeah, so that was super cheap to do that way. So
Love.
endless possibilities
Yes.
that you can still achieve
Go
something
there.
really nice. Favors. Save.
Yep.
Do something cute and little and sweet.
Yep.
And it's amazing.
And
Yeah.
it is annoying as it is, like try to do something practical because they are being left at that table.
Oh, yes.
Like don't go above and beyond to make this cute, personalized, like I think you had soap or something.
It was COVID, so we kind of made a joke like,
Yeah.
don't forget to wash your hands. So we did
I was
little
like, ours is
soaps.
our favorite snacks. Eat this
Yeah.
on the car ride home.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, food is definitely the way to go, I think, because people will eat it. Sometimes at the wedding, on the way home, like it goes to waste a little less.
yeah.
We took all the extra soaps because we bought like in bulk. So we took all the extra ones home. I think we have like 4 more.
5 years later.
5 years later, we have like 4 more. And they're cute little hand ones. Yeah. So
Yeah,
save.
that's perfect.
Definitely
That's
save.
amazing. All right. I feel like we kind of covered this, but we'll just double check. And flowers. So this could be everything. This is your bouquet, bridesmaids bouquets, decoration for ceremony, centerpiece, like wherever you're using florals.
So I have a story, but yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Save.
Yeah. All right. So wedding number 1, I, my bouquet, I went to Trader Joe's and made a bouquet.
And it was beautiful.
And I made, it was very, very simple, but I was like, this is all I got. I made my bridesmaids bouquets, obviously for that. And then for second, round 2 of the same wedding, I ended up having a homeschool friend. At the time, she has her own business. So I went through her and I was like, I want my bouquet done. I want the boutonnieres. But I was going back and forth between my bridesmaids bouquets again because I wanted them to have that again. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make those. So I still went back to Trader Joe's, and actually I think it was from our backyard. Artie had planted wildflowers in the backyard, and because I just love those in general. And there happened to be, I think they're called blue buttons or something, that grew very nicely that year. So I actually cut those and I used them for my nieces, for my junior bridesmaids and my like flower girls. So they
love
held
that.
those too.
So if you're engaged, start a garden now. You might need it.
Yeah. So I was like, that was still a way that I'm like, I knew I wanted to at least get
Yeah.
mine and maybe splurge there, but I definitely
love that.
tried to save some money. Yeah.
I went very off the beaten path for my wedding with you guys. I don't know if I would do this again, but the moment it felt right, I did faux flowers, which is so not me for the girls. Because I wanted them to have wristlets. I didn't want them to have a bouquet.
Really nice, yeah.
But I also wanted them to be able just to keep it
Yeah.
like for
It
as
wasn't
like a
gonna-
little like keepsake from the wedding day. But I did think the wristlets were practical though, like not having to like
Now
where
you
did I
had to
put my
hold
bouquet down?
100%
Yes.
though.
I will say I think that was nice, but it is, I think just because of the picture you have in your mind, if you're walking down the aisle by yourself without a partner,
Yeah.
it's very awkward
Yeah.
because you're like, you don't have the
Yeah.
safety blanket
Yeah, you're
of
not
holding
like-
a bouquet in front of you.
I don't think I would have done it if you guys were walking down by yourselves
Yeah.
because you're just walking.
Yeah.
And you don't have anything.
don't
But
have
being
anything.
arm in arm.
Yeah,
helps.
that helped a lot.
Yeah.
That helped a lot. But yeah, I just think there's too many opportunities to save when it comes to flowers.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I have been to weddings where they clearly splurged and it was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. They
Like,
can look
it's
beautiful.
stunning.
We've seen what
have
you can do.
Amazing photos and things like that. But
It's
if
so
you have to
incredibly
make
expensive.
budget cuts somewhere,
Yeah.
like do it on the things that are going to die.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like that's
Part
not
of
worth
your
it.
what's that thing called on the stage?
Oh, the not the arch. It was called something specific, but yeah,
Yeah.
we had
Huppah?
But no, it wasn't a huppah. It wasn't a huppah.
But you had fake. Was it fake flowers or did you have?
We
You
had
had greens.
we had greenery.
That's
we
what it
had
was.
oh my gosh, why is the name escaping me of the
chiffon.
well, we did. We had a beautiful like chiffon curtain. That was
Yeah.
beautiful, but the
Eucalyptus.
greens, the eucalyptus, thank you.
Eucalyptus?
Yeah.
The eucalyptus was around the whole thing.
Yeah.
We had a couple white roses here and
Okay.
there. So that
Yeah.
we wanted pretty. That
Okay.
was supposed to be pretty.
I had I ordered them off of Amazon. It was like a bridal thing, and I was like, okay, here's the sweep, and you stick
Yeah,
that up there.
so
I didn't want to
easy.
have to think about it, so I just dropped that off at the venue. I was like, make it look pretty.
yeah.
And I love greens. I think if you really need to budget and save, like you can just do greens
Yeah.
and not do
Yeah.
flowers.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
The only flowers I bought were my mom's flowers, my flowers, and Thomas's boutonniere, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the only flowers
And
I
greens
bought.
are so much cheaper.
And we did
They're so
greens.
pretty, too.
And there's
Yeah,
so
you
many
can do
options.
so many options
Yeah,
for it.
they're really, really pretty.
Oh, and baby's breath.
yes.
That's what we did.
That's what you did.
Baby's breath and greens.
breath.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, my friend
Classic.
did Costco. They came out beautiful. So we're
See?
in Costco.
Trader Joe's, Costco, you got options. All right. I think the only two categories we have left are music.
Oh boy. Yeah, I would
You
splurge on
cannot
this.
have a crummy DJ.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
Well, at least
Yeah.
for me, I was like, I want to be dancing all night. So like, I need someone who can keep the party going and
I-
respects your wishes.
We had
is
it.
a big
Well,
thing,
that's
too.
where I came into my Thomas and I. We literally went into this with our DJ, and we were like, "Listen, we are different. We literally want this to be like dinner dancing vibes, like very casual, very relaxed. Like we're just not party animals. We're going to Naples, Florida for our honeymoon, where the average age is 72. Like that's what we want to do. We just want to chill and
Yeah.
it'd be nice vibe. And if we had a DJ that would just want to do his own thing, it would have been mayhem all night and not something that we wanted. So I guess I'm
Totally.
saying splurge.
because
but
you want it. You want them to
Get
be
what you
specific.
want.
Yeah,
Get what
That's
you
I
want. If
to.
you want to party, if you want to go crazy, then make sure that your people can do that. If you want to do a band, then make sure they're a good band.
Good band, yeah.
Good live band. Like don't try and save on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at it because to me, if I did it again, I would put more emphasis on the maitre d' part of it, and making sure that that's the kind of vibe that you want. Because I was the same. I was like, I want fun and I want people dancing, but I don't want like you to be a club promoter.
Yes,
at
yes,
my wedding.
yes. I 100% agree with that.
People do.
Yeah,
People
no,
do
that's
that.
what they do.
But that to me is more like, clicking with the personality of the person.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to spend more money to get
Yes.
that.
I think we've said it before. Spend the time.
Yes.
To find what you want.
Yeah.
So splurge
That's
on
the splurge
time.
element. Is
Yeah.
like go out of your way to really
Yeah.
find someone you want.
Yeah. So last category is the honeymoon. That's an easy one for
Yep.
me.
Could I have two?
Splurge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have no regrets. I mean, in the moment at that time, we were young and broke. We were definitely, you
Young and
know,
broke.
the brokest people at the nicest hotel. And we were like splitting every meal because it was like, we can't afford to have our own. But I'm like, you don't ever spend money on a vacation that way again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because after that, you're always going to be more practical.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do it.
make every
Do
excuse to
Do it.
to go for it.
And you need maybe honeymoons will be a different topic, but you need to just be so incredibly at peace, I think, somewhere. Because for a lot of people, it's a huge transition to
Yeah.
go from total like your singleness to your married life. So just having like the great time to spend with each other, memories, no stress, whatever that means. If it's spending a little bit extra, just do it. Do
Yeah.
it.
And again, we keep saying this, but I say splurge money and splurge time. Like
If research, yeah.
if you,
Or
I mean,
research or-
in the time that you're taking, like if
Yeah.
you can take a 2-week honeymoon,
Do it.
Yeah.
do
Oh,
that.
totally. Yeah.
Even if you can't afford to be on an island for 2 weeks,
take a home vacation,
spend a week away and then spend a week home, you know, adjusting
Yep.
to your new life. Like
Yeah.
4 days.
Great point.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, everyone, you know, has different restrictions on what they're able to do with their jobs and other responsibilities and things like that. But if there's ever a time to push and get as much as you can for a vacation,
That's it.
that's the time.
Yeah.
Like put that in and have
Yeah.
that like nice start with your
100%.
with your spouse. For
Agreed.
sure.
Check.
I love that.
All right. Well, if you completely disagree
don't
with
tell
us,
'cause we're the experts.
or if there are any big categories that we forgot to vote on, let us know. And don't forget to enjoy the view wherever your ride takes you.